Congressman Scott Garrett is with us from Capitol Hill. And Congressman, can you explain the decision why the president made that swap? Is there a good story now?
No, I think if anything, it undermines his story, and it undermines Rice's comment earlier on that saying that this gentleman was honorable and decent in his actions. It's anything but that. What the facts we do know is that he left his post. He left his unit more in a dangerous position than they were before. He left other units at disadvantage because they had to go out and look for him. And what we do also know is a GAO report that came out and looked at this whole situation back in August said that this administration failed to follow the law and failed to appropriately notify Congress before swapping these prisoners.
What's the buzz around the water cooler there in Congress about why this was done? Because, again, he was the only soldier that was missing in Afghanistan, and so were they trying to wrap themselves around the flag and say, look at us, we've gone out and got our man and brought him back and get some kudos out of the thing?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's hard to second-guess this administration as to what they were ever doing, because as your previous lead-in story shows, that we have a failed foreign policy by this administration, where we have a failure of this administration of transparency and openness in anything what they were doing. But clearly, on foreign policy, they have a failure. They have failed to commit to or live up to the commitment they made to the base of their party, for example, with regard to Guantanamo, as far as closing that down and taking those prisoners elsewhere. They, I think, wanted to have some sort of a win over here and say, well, look, there is the adage that we will leave no man on the field, so to speak, and so we will break all precedent and actually do a prisoner swap in this case and bring him home to fanfare of the American public. But as you well know, there was only very little fanfare, even in his hometown, because they know that the actions of this administration has put all Americans and all American forces at a greater risk now that our enemies know that we will begin to trade hostages.
Well, I think you said it best. It's hard to figure out this administration, what they're doing.
Yeah,